Greetings everyone, and welcome to part 12 of Sonic Generations. Now before we take on any of the challenge gates, well, let's take on the rival battle of the modern era. And it is Silver the Hedgehog. Yes. And I do like this rendition of Dreams of Absolution. Yeah. 'Cause every night I can fly awake and I dream Absolution. Okay, that's enough bad singing for me. I'm sorry, folks. I mean, Sonic 06 was a blah game, but the music was cool, and some tunes get stuck in your head. I mean, come on. You can't blame me for that. Anyway, this little rival battle actually redeems Silver in many people's eyes because it actually looks cool. And the music here is a nice remix of the Hedgehog battle of Sonic 06, so there's that. So yeah, what makes this battle much better than the one in Sonic 06? Well, for those who have seen footage and actually play the game at some point, you may notice that Silver uses his psychic powers to grab things to hurl at Sonic, and to also grab Sonic himself. You know what sucks about it though is, well, there's no breathing time between grabbing Sonic. It's like, it's no use! Take this! And then immediately, it's no use! And Sonic dies if he doesn't have any rings. Ugh. And that's including if you're being careful. It's like, oh god. Now this battle, on the other hand, Silver still uses his psychic powers to hurl objects at Sonic. However, he does not grab Sonic himself, which is an automatic plus. So, yay! Alright. And notice that we are not in Soliana, we are in Crisis City. I mean, Silver is from this time period, it makes sense. Yeah, this is actually, if I'm correct about this is actually the Silver of Sonic 06. Yeah. And why is he here, you may ask? Well, same reason Crisis City is here, even though it's been erased from the timeline. And many people don't know that there were actually two versions of Silver. And the one from the PSP game Sonic Rivals, he's from the future after the timeline's been changed. So he comes from a destroyed future, but not the same destroyed future. So yeah. And the 3DS version of Sonic Generations does state that fact. I have to admit, this boss battle is fun because, again, Silver has to rely on the destroyed objects to hurl at you and not take Sonic himself. And now he has this big old ball of wreckage to crush Sonic with. Now I would insert the Indiana Jones theme here, but I don't feel like it. And as soon as you take Silver out, he collapses underneath his whole ball of wreckage. And you gotta do love this little achievement here. Silver got served. So appropriate. Oh yeah, the voice of Silver in this game is actually done by Quentin Flynn. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Quentin Flynn, he's a voice actor from another popular video game series. Here's a little hint. Named Silver! Got it memorized? That's right. The good old Kingdom Hearts series where he plays Axel. Oh god, I'm thinking about I'm thinking about Axel during his fight with Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2, giving this whole little spiel about, oh, it's no use, Roxas, take this. It's no use. And it's like, oh, jeez Louise. Ooh. Yeah. Oh yeah, the challenge gates. Yeah. I might as well complete the trifecta of elemental shields by doing the flame shield challenge. Why? Well, again, for completionist's sake. I mean, at this point, you don't really need the elemental shield unless you want to go back to Crisis City and actually get a better rank than you started off initially. Because as you can see here, thanks to having the flame shield, I can go through flames with no problem. Because, yeah, flame shield, fire, and all that stuff, so yeah. And the flame shield will also allow Sonic to move a little bit faster. just like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So, yeah. And now, back to that whole silver future kind of thing. So, yeah. Again, there were 2 silvers. The one that we played in this game actually came from Sonic 06, like I said earlier. He's here because, again, the Time Eater pretty much plucked silver from that timeline, just like he did with Crisis City. So, why did the Time Eater do it? I guess it was trying to be a bit sadistic. Maybe it knew about the other timeline, you know, the one that featured Solaris and all them. And, yeah. And as for why you didn't get the Sonic Rivals version of Silver, well, your guess is as good as mine. It would have been kind of weird if the Rivals version appeared, but then the Rivals was a handheld series. Oh, or were a handheld series, or whatever the heck I pronounce it. Yeah. And for having him appearing on the 3DS version, it makes sense that way. So, yeah, I guess. Anyway, you probably saw the seesaw version, those seesaws with the spike things. It's a nice little callback to Starlight Zone from Starlight Zone from the first Sonic game. So, yeah. Or Hilltop. Hilltop had the spring things, right? Yeah. Sorry, memory's a little faulty, so yeah. And, I think I'll go ahead and complete all of the challenges as Classic Sonic because, well, Modern Sonic will get a chance to take on the boss of the modern era. So, why not? I kind of feel like I'm in a classic mood or something. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do this mission here, the One Ring mission. Basically, you have to get to the end with at least holding one ring. I mean, you don't even have to have one ring. You have to at least survive, because this level only gives you one ring, and if you lose that ring, you have to try not to get hit, or else you lose the challenge. So it's like, bleh. Okay. And yeah, I'm not doing that Vector mission this playthrough. I'm sorry. Now, for those who are unaware, the Vector challenge for Rooftop Run, as Modern Sonic, by the way, what you have to do is Vector spits out a note, and as Modern Sonic, you have to homing attack that note back at Vector, and do this back and forth repeatedly until, well, Vector loses. Now, what's ridiculous about that little challenge is because the notes get a little faster, and the homing attacking those notes can get a little bit more tedious as you continue onward. So, yeah, I don't want to go through all that stress by homing attack those notes. Although, to be fair, the notes have a preset destination every single time. So, I mean, if you can memorize where the notes will end up, you can try and get these guys, no problem. I mean, it is possible to defeat Vector. It's just going to take a little bit more work. And that's why I'm doing this mission, because, well, it's fast, simple, and it's just a matter of getting to the end, no problem. Well, with the exception of trying to hold on to one ring, but, of course, I find it a little bit more difficult than it is. It's just that these enemies are placed in such a bad mood. And I lost my ring. Great. But the good news is that I'm actually here at the end, so it's just a matter of me not hitting those spikes, and I made it. Thank God. Woo! Yay. Okay, that challenge out of the way. Now I need to do one for Planet Wisp, and I will get the 3 keys so I can take on the modern villain, or the modern main baddie of the modern era. Yeah. So the mission for Planet Wisp will be this one right here. Come on, select it. Goalpost Juggle. Yeah, the Goalpost Juggle mission is actually a nice little callback to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where when you get to the goal post. Sonic can juggle this sucker up and down all around, and sometimes when you juggle this the goalpost, it can reveal some like a ring capsule or a capsule for one of the elemental shields. You know, the bubble shield, the electric shield, or the flame shield. And yeah, this whole little challenge is a nice little callback to that. Yeah. Alright, so what you have to do is just get the goalpost to its destination and just keep that sucker in the air as long as possible. That's pretty much the long and short of it. I mean, it's possible to get some combo hits, and as you hit more and more of it, it will go a little faster, which is good and bad. Good in which you can get to the end faster, bad in which you can kind of lose control of it. Because you need to control its destination to its, you need to have some control over it. And at least it'll go the right direction some of the time, most of the time, I guess. Now, if you allow it to touch the bomb and settle on the Eggman symbol, it will actually add 5 seconds to the time. So try not to get it. Try not to get it to stick on Eggman, because that'd be bad. Come on. Ugh. Although sometimes it can be a little tedious because of all the obstacles. Like here, for example, there's flame traps, there's buzzsaws, and there'll be egg pawns up ahead. It's just a matter of timing and such. Come on, you stupid. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, E3 is going on this week, huh? So, yeah, I can't wait to see any more of the Sonic Lost World footage that's being released. Although IGN did post a whole bunch of not E3 footage, some gameplay footage not too long ago. It looks impressive so far. I mean, if I get a chance to actually test it out and play it, I'll be able to enjoy it. And yeah, I'm just I mean, it may look a little dizzy, but hey, I have no problem. I don't have any motion sickness problems or anything, so I might be able to enjoy it. So, yeah. And I have to admit, the 3DS version of Lost World looks impressive. I mean, it actually looks like it's in 3D, not 2D side-scrolling like past games. I mean, it has 2D sections, but it has elements of actual 3D instead of 100% 2D. And Dimps is actually kind of improving, kind of, but it's Dimps. It's Dimps. And I'm talking about the 3D handheld version, so let's just leave it at that. Let's collect that key and move onward to the boss. Now, if you've just heard the music over near the boss gate, it is good old Eggman from Sonic Adventure 2. And, which means that it is good old Eggman at the controls. And, wait, wasn't Eggman kidnapped by the Time Eater after the Death Egg robot fight? So, why is he here? Did he escape from that thing? And if so, maybe he holds the key to stopping this thing once and for all. Well, let's go beat the crap out of him and find out, shall we? Now, I do admit, of the Eggman themes, it's a tie between Eggman, the original from Sonic Adventure 2, and that theme that was introduced in Sonic 06. You know, his menacing theme. Yeah. Anyway, we are fighting this thing. It's much bigger, it's much better, and it's about to skew Sonic with its pointy thing. That's right. It's the new, improved Egg Dragoon from Sonic Unleashed. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with that fight, Eggman used the Egg Dragoon while Sonic was the Werehog, And Sonic, as the Werehog, was tearing this thing to pieces. And, well, let's just say that, Eggman made some improvements on this Egg Dragoon. And this one was specifically designed to actually fight Sonic for once. So, yeah. And in classic Eggman fighting fashion, we get a whole slew of new lines that Eggman repeats over and over again. And that was a cheat move, Eggman. Cheat move. Anyway, here it comes the most prominent line that Eggman says throughout the entire fight. So, have a listen.
Time for a change of pace!
Time for a change of pace! Yeah, he says this pretty much every time he changes his tactics. And it definitely falls into the category of,
Gets a load of this!
or, you know what they say, the more the merrier. Now, he does say other lines like, prepare to be scared and stuff, but this line, it definitely has more memorable qualities. Yeah. Now, if I remember in Psycho Unleashed, at some point he said that the Egg Dragoon in that game was more of a prototype. If my memory serves, it's been a long time since I played Sonic Unleashed. So if it is, kudos to Eggman for actually recycling an old idea and improving upon it. Although, to be fair, he did so earlier with the Death Egg robot. So, yeah. Now, this location. Now, of course, the boss fights took place in their original locations. You know, the Death Egg robot, Death Egg, the ruined Station Square for Chaos. Is this supposed to be the center of the Earth? Or at least the downward spiral towards the center of the Earth? Because remember, as we were fighting the Egg Dragoon in the original game, there was, well, the two of them were free falling down towards the center of the Earth. So, yeah, what is this place really exactly? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, anyway, this section right here, as Eggman tries to shoot these freezing blasts at you, this wall jump up here quickly before the crushers crush you, and you can just score an easy hit, no problem. And of course, running here, again, dodge the ice blast so that you don't get hit. And other attacks that Eggman has in the Egg Dragoon features, prepare to be scared of that little lance thing that he shoots at you, and fire blasts. And yeah. And this Egg Dragoon is much bigger than the one from Sonic Unleashed because, well, there are two compartments for Eggman to sit in. The one at the very top, and the one, well, in the crotch section, I guess. The joint section where the legs are connected or something. Yeah. And of course, if one makes it onto the rails and successfully navigates them, he can get a score off a hit if he hits a yellow ring and homing attacks quickly. And as you saw momentarily before we enter some kind of weird place, some weird dimensional warp thing, Eggman was trying to separate the Egg Dragoon into, well, multiple parts in order to, well, attack Sonic two ways. But I homing attacked into him before that can happen. And now we are both free falling, kind of like we did in Sonic Unleashed. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to spoil this for you. We actually have one more hit left on the Egg Dragoon before it's finished. And the way the ending cutscene doesn't make sense. Now, I'm about to hit him coming up, and he'll spin around out of control in this room. But as we cut away into the ending cutscene, it's during the end of the freefall section, which implies that it was supposed to take place during the freefall, the final hit. And I guess the developers were kind of lazy to develop another room. You know, it would make sense to have a second room just for the, you know, final shot or anything. But then, of course, we have a cutscene coming up that's...
Sonic!
I can't believe this! I was supposed to beat you this time!
Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo. I beat you every time.
No, seriously, we beat this guy every time. It's like it's our job or something.
What's Eggman even doing here? I thought you said he'd been kidnapped by that big weird thing that sent us all to this place. See? He was kidnapped. This is getting stranger all the time.
Yeah, that line about Sonic being up Eggman like it's his job or something. Nice little callback to Sonic Colors. I mean, of course, it makes sense because the writers of Sonic Colors also wrote this game. So, nice little continuity there. And, yeah, again, another room programmed into the Egg Dragoon final scene fight would have made sense if they're going horizontally instead of vertically, but whatever. Anyway, we got the final Chaos Emerald, and we are going to head into the final area of the game in Part 13. So, wow, the game's almost over, huh? Wow. Alright then, I will see you next time, okay? Bye-bye now.